Well, tractor fans, today you're in for a real treat because this is a treasure trove full of collectible tractors here at Markham's Vintage Tractors. Let's get inside, meet Alfie and see what this is all about. Thanks Alfie for letting us come down here today. This place is amazing. This barn is full of wonderful tractors, but this one is very rare, this Rumely. Tell us all about this.
Yeah, of course I can. It is really rare actually. Only 801 ever built to begin with. This is 1 out of 5 within the UK as well, as it was a US built tractor.
Right.
And it was right between the period where Rumely had just been bought over by Alice Chalmers. Then on the tractor it's full of these extras that would have cost more at the time to do. So we've got the French and Hecht pneumatic tyres.
Yeah.
We've got the factory electrics kit.
Right.
Something really good to have. Obviously pulling it over isn't always the most fun, but then it's also got a high compression head on it.
Right.
More compression, more power basically, so it gives it where it's already got quite a big grunt with a 6-cylinder 6.6 litre engine in it.
Yeah, it's quite a special engine here, isn't it?
Yeah, and I mean it's lovely to look at as well with that lovely manifold with the writing on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a beautiful tractor, but I'd imagine a very expensive one back in the day, really.
Yeah.
Especially since how expensive petrol was to run on something. That's why you had a lot of kerosene, TVO, distillate tractors.
Yeah.
Because they'd start on the petrol and then run it on the much cheaper alternative.
Right. And pneumatic tyres, that's advanced for time, wasn't it?
Yeah. So the Rumely 6A, I've been told, was the first production tractor to come out the factory with pneumatic tyres on it. And I mean, around that time, if you look at tractors around 1931, there's not many on rubbers. They're all on steels, and if they are on rubbers, most of them you can distinctly tell that they're cut-offs.
Right. Okay.
Where they've cut the old steels, welded rims on, and put a set of tyres on it.
Yeah. And we think that this is possibly third from last ever built, is that right?
Yeah, so this is what I've been told. It is the third from last.
Yeah.
And that makes sense why it's got all the lovely extras on it.
Yeah.
Because they would have had it laying about all these extra parts that cost more, and obviously back then not many people were wanting to buy the extras because all the tractors were handle start, so why would you then want to go pay for electric start? Your one that you're replacing is already handle start.
Yeah. So listen, can we get this thing out on the road?
Yeah, of course we can.
Let's give it a go.
Let's go for it.
That's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Something a bit different, isn't it?
What you got here? Tell us what this is.
Yeah, so we've got a 1952 Muir Hill here.
Right.
Built off of a Fordson E27N.
Okay.
And it's definitely something a bit different.
It's chunky, isn't it? It's a big old thing. There's plenty of metal in here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Plenty of fabrication went on, I'd imagine, when they was building this.
Right, okay. Now, you were telling me earlier what's unique about this, how this tank is on the top.
So this is an industrial version of an E27N.
Right.
So what you'd get is basically, it would be straight petrol.
Right.
You'd have a direct throttle, you see over there. You've got things like the transmission brake. You've got bigger brakes on it.
Right.
And a higher speeded gearbox as well. So you got 4 gears: first, second, and third, and reverse.
Right.
And the third gear is a lot quicker as opposed to your normal E27N.
So before we start this beast up, let us know what you think about the tractors you've seen today. Leave some comments in the link below, and don't forget to follow us on our blog at www.downatthebarns.uk, and of course make sure you subscribe. Right, Alfie, are we ready?
I think
Let's
so.
hear it. And my eye's been drawn to this tractor over here, Alfie. This is a Field Marshal from 1945. This is very special as well, isn't it?
Yeah, this is something definitely a bit special, and any British person who likes their tractors absolutely adores these. They're a real eye catcher. Everyone wants to come and have a look and see it start.
Yeah. Now, these new would have been like £550. That seems an incredible amount of money in 1945.
Well, a lot of money for that time, wasn't
Yeah,
it, really?
it's
Especially
crazy.
just coming out of a war. There weren't many people who sort of had the money.
Exactly. And the other unique thing about it is the way you start this up. Can you talk us through the procedure, what happens with this? 'Cause it's brilliant.
Yeah, so if you're starting it off the handle, you'd come over and you'd set the decompressor 3 notches in on the screw on the flywheel. You'd also set your throttle and your hand clutch up there, and that runs down, engages the decompressor. You come along, you roll up your nice bit of saltpeter, you light it, and it acts like a glow plug within the head. You put that in, you go over to your handle, you give it 3 turns round, and then on that 3rd turn it will click in on the decompressor. Compression comes into action and ignites that diesel, and away you go. And then if you're doing it with the shotgun shell, you would put your shotgun shell in up there, and you screw this on, ready to go, ready to hit that bit on the back there. You'd set your decompressor, I believe, 1 notch, like your piece of saltpeter again, just like before, and then you're ready to walk around with your hammer, hit that. That then hits a little pin, goes in the back of the shotgun shell, fires that, comes down into the head, and that fires it away.
So it's good if you're not in a hurry.
Yeah. Yeah, and if it's on a blowy day and you haven't got a blowtorch or something to light that, and it's a normal lighter,
Yeah.
you can imagine there's many
crazy.
photos of people like that around the side of it.
Yeah, trying to light it.
Yeah, trying to light
which
it.
Is absolutely amazing. So, Alfie, as well as the collection you've got, you also sell tractors, don't you? Because you started this whole thing, didn't you? Who did you start it with?
I started it with my dad. I sort of said to him one day, I think I need a way of being able to afford tractors, because I love it, and I didn't want to rely on him all the time. I wanted some of my own.
Yeah.
So,
and you've got these two for sale at the moment. What's this all about?
Yeah, so we got this French-built Farmall F270.
Yep.
Lovely little tractor this is. Yeah, it's got working hydraulics. It's got a little front PTO there to run an underslung mower. Yeah, it's overall a really nice tractor. Not something you see very often, to be honest.
Right, okay.
I've personally never seen one about.
Yeah,
So it's something a bit different.
And we've got this one over here, which you call the...
We've nicknamed it the Ratty Fergie.
Oh, the Ratty Fergie.
It looks a little bit ratty, but there's so much character to it.
Yeah.
With them quirky headlights on it.
Yeah.
And it's just there's just something I like about it.
Yeah, they are cool, aren't they? A nice bit of grey paint back on that. It looked fantastic, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if anyone's interested in buying one of these tractors, what do they have to do?
So just Google Markham's Vintage Tractors or go on our website and have a look. There's a bit of a write-up about us, about what we've been doing with things, previous tractors we've saved, and yeah, there's a bit of a variety on there. We can be found on Instagram as well. That's probably where I put the most things up, sort of updates on. what we're up to and bits like that.
And if you're into your tractors, watch this video because I think you'll find it rather interesting. But that's all for now for Down at the Barns, and we'll catch you next time. And don't forget, as always, to subscribe.